All right, so for kind of like my base of my meals for the past 2 weeks now, I've been using this protein pasta and this quinoa. You can use rice or like maybe like cauliflower rice, any type of thing like that. I personally have just been really into the quinoa and into the protein pasta. So definitely check those out. And the protein pasta takes about 8 or so minutes to cook, and then the quinoa will take about 20 minutes in total. It'll cook for 15, and then it'll rest covered for 5. And yeah, so these are both kind of things that you kind of cook according to like which one you have, and there's normally instructions on the box or the bag like there is with the quinoa. Um, and yeah, so the quinoa just kind of cooks up like rice. Don't want to take up too much time talking about this, but I'm just going to check it and see. It needs to still get rid of some of that water. So I'm going to cover this back up and let it stay on the heat for a little bit more. And then I will probably come back and it should be ready to go. And I will let it sit for 5 minutes, and then it will be ready for me to scoop out and put in my bowls for the week. Now, I only prep right now, I only prep lunches. So if you wanted to prep like maybe full size family meals, sorry, I can't talk. If you want to prep full size family meals, you could do that with these recipes and just kind of double them. But that's also another thing. I'm going to try my best to describe all of these recipes the best I can. Some of them I'm just going to kind of tell you what they are, and then I can give you the recipe in the comments if you would like to know like a specific measurements or anything like that. But yeah, I focus mainly on just doing high protein and watching like portion control. I don't really stress too much about like counting the calories and all that different kind of stuff. So that is just how I've been doing things. So while that sets, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next thing, which is this little internet famous salad, as the recipe called it. But it is basically just everything bagel seasoning, bell peppers, cucumbers, and these little like chili flakes, chili crisp. I'm not sure what the exact name was. And this ginger dressing. And you're gonna mix it all up, and it's gonna make this really good salad that I really like, because sometimes eating salad that is like full of like greens, it's just, I don't know, it's like a texture thing, I guess. But this one is a lot of fun to make. It's very bright and colorful on the plate, so it looks good. And it makes a lot, so you can leave this in the fridge and eat it for like maybe dinner. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. It's super easy, and I think I remember all the measurements for this one, so get your pens ready to write this one down. I went ahead and I kind of diced up 4 of the mini cucumbers and then 8 of the mini bell peppers, and you can see it like it yields a lot when you do that. So we're just going to throw this into the bowl, and then I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of the everything bagel seasoning. Obviously you can add more depending on the size of your specific salad. And then these are the chili crisp flake things, and they're not spicy. They're more of like a, I would say like a smoky savory kind of taste, like paprika almost. But I just did 2 teaspoons of that. And then we're going to add in this dressing. I used about 2 or 3 tablespoons, and then just give all this a good mix, and you're ready to go. Now, for my main source of protein, I like to use chicken. Obviously, everyone has their own type of things. You might want to do maybe a plant-based protein, but I like to use chicken. I specifically do the Tyson frozen chicken. They do chicken breasts and strips like I have here. They're super easy to cook up. It takes about 3-4 minutes in the microwave to get it all cooked up and ready to go. And then you just pop them into your meal preps, and then they reheat when you're ready to eat them, and they taste so good. I was worried at first that reheating them so much was going to like make them dry or tough, but I haven't I haven't run into that issue yet. So as of right now, I'm still sticking with this method. Of course, you could do like slow cooker chicken, you could grill it yourself, but this is just the most convenient for me right now. So this week I'm trying out a new recipe. I'm calling it an Applebee's dupe because Applebee's has like this pepper honey barbecue chicken tender pasta meal. So I wanted to try that out with my own version. So I'm doing a honey barbecue sauce. This specific brand is Zero Everything. It's super great. I'm just going to give that a quick toss. And then while we're on the topic of sauce, I'm going to be making a high protein marinara sauce for another one of my chicken pasta dishes. This is just combining cottage cheese and marinara sauce in my bullet, and then it makes a great sauce. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so this is all blended up. It's a nice consistency, great flavor, and super high in protein. So now we're gonna move over to our California wrap. And this is just a low carb tortilla, and I'm spreading on this one wedge of Laughing Cow cheese, as well as half a teaspoon of ranch seasoning. And I used the Hidden Valley brand of ranch seasoning. And then onto this, I'm gonna add 3 slices of turkey breast. Obviously, you could use like fresh sliced from the deli. I just had some that was, I think, Hillshire Farm. I'm gonna throw this on there. And then I'm gonna also add in 2 strips of bacon. I kind of like broke those in half. And then I'm gonna also add avocado to this because I like to add avocado to kind of fill it up. You could do maybe spinach, lettuce, anything like that, but this is just how the recipe looked for this one. So that is what I'm going with. And you can see me attempting to spread that out on there, but it could not, avocado, like especially if it's cold, it's kind of firm. But anyways, now I'm gonna try and roll this all up. I eventually get it, but I am not a burrito maker or any sort of like wrap maker. I can't do it. And eventually I do just get it all in there, and I can cut it in half, but it took me a long time to get it down. And here's me finally getting it, and I'm gonna cut that in half. Now the last thing I'm gonna be making is probably my favorite thing. I make it every week. It is a high protein buffalo chicken dip. It's super easy to make. I just think by the time I got to filming this part, I was fed up and didn't film all of it, but I just wanted to show you all what it looks like before it's mixed up. It's just cottage cheese, Laughing Cow cheese, ranch seasoning, buffalo sauce, and shredded chicken. And then you also add in a little bit of shredded cheese later on. I like to use this brand of Moore's buffalo wing sauce. Obviously you can use like a Frank's Red Hot sauce or any type of hot sauce you want to use, but this is what I like to use. And then you're just going to give this all a good mix. And then after you mix it up, you're going to add in some shredded cheese, mix it up again, and then just throw it into your meal prep and you are ready to go. All right, so thank you guys so much for sticking it out through the end. We have finally made it to our entire spread of meal preps, and I will try and talk about each one as we go along. This is not specifically the order that I will eat these in. This is just how I have them laid out, but this is what we have. So first up is the buffalo chicken dip that we just talked about. Now that whole thing runs about 62 grams of protein for that whole thing. That includes the protein chips, the dip, the string cheese, the bell peppers. All of it has protein of some sort in it, and it all adds up. Now, I'm obviously not like a dietitian or like a nutrition coach or anything, so I don't really know exactly like if that's how it adds up. Like one thing is 12, one thing is 10, and then like that's how you add it up or whatever. But this is just what I have and what's in each one. So that is the buffalo chicken dip. The next one is the sushi bowl. I used this one last week for the first time, and I incorporated it again this week because it was so good. But this one I use the quinoa as if it was rice for sushi. I use the avocado, I use the mini cucumbers, and then I put Kewpie mayo on top. Obviously, if you don't want to use the mayo, you could maybe do like Greek yogurt, but I like to wiggle in some things here and there, and Kewpie mayo is one of those things. So I use that, and then when I get ready to eat it, I will open up the tuna packet and incorporate all that together. And then I will also use the seaweed to kind of make like little sushi rolls almost. It is so good. When I tell you, it is super easy to put all together, and it tastes so good. And you can leave that tuna packet inside this little box that I use for my meal preps. I will try and link these down below. I feel like I didn't talk about that, but I will try and link the specific ones down in the description. I like them because there's 3 different sections. They're also measured. So like the big section is 2 cups, and the 2 side ones, they're both 1 cup each. So if that helps you with anything, those are like pre-measured also. But that is my sushi bowl. Now moving over to the next one. This is the this is the California wrap. And this one I included that salad that I made, as well as some Laughing Cow cheese up there, because I just wanted like a little something extra. And then I threw in some of the cucumbers also. Now I know that this one specifically I'm going to eat on a day that I'm out and about. So everything in here is not anything that needs to be heated up. It can all be eaten in the car. It doesn't have to be like, I don't know, reheated. I'm going to keep saying that over and over, but you get what I'm saying. And I want to say this one is, I think it's like 20 grams of protein. It's not that much because you just had protein from the turkey. You had protein from the avocado, from the bacon, and then you also had protein from like the cheese wedge. It's not that much on this one, but it's all there. So obviously you could use this as like stacking. So you'd maybe want to eat like higher protein breakfast or maybe a dinner to kind of even out your protein intake for the entire day. And then moving on to the next box. I don't think I showed this one. I just showed making the sauce, but this is the regular chicken pasta box prep. What do I call them? I think I call them bowls. I don't remember. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I always am posting these every Sunday. And this is just my chicken pasta. It's 42 grams of protein. So you have protein from your sauce because it's made with the cottage cheese. You have protein from the chicken. You have protein from the pasta. And protein from all the things. But I just put all this in there, and then I will reheat it, and it is good to go. I think I heat it for 2 minutes and then stir it at the 1 minute mark. I have blueberries and cucumbers in here, as well as the string cheese again. And then I like something sweet. I have these like Atkins peanut butter cups, and I want to say those have some protein in them also because of the peanut butter, but I can't remember, and I did not write it down. Yeah, and those things you can just take out when you're heating it up, or if you want to eat those things first and then move to the main dish. You're choosing however you want to do that, but I just personally, I will just take them out, heat it up, put them back in there, and just eat everything like at once. And I found that I found that recipe on TikTok, and I will try and link it down below. I will try and link everything down below where I found all these recipes. And moving over to the last box, this is the like Applebee's dupe whatnot. It was something that I created on the fly because I was like, I really am craving that honey barbecue pasta. I'm not even sure what it's called, but it is so good. It's literally chicken strips on top of pasta. It's so good. But this is a dupe, and it tastes just like it almost. But I just used that honey barbecue sauce that we saw earlier, mixed that chicken up and put it on top of that pasta. I actually ate this box on Monday, and it was so good that I will probably be incorporating it again next week or maybe the week after, just depending on what I want to do for next week. But I also have string cheese and the peanut butter cup in this one, and then I have the cucumbers and the blueberries. I love those cucumbers. For some reason, I never even heard of mini cucumbers until I started doing these meal preps. But they are so convenient because you just cut them up and they're like, it's ready to go. You don't have to peel them because they're like small enough that if there's peeling on them, you don't even think about it. And it's just so convenient. And this is another one that I will take all those things out, heat it up, and then put them back in, and then sit down. to enjoy my food. But I have been doing these for about 3 weeks now. I prep everything on Sunday night, and it takes me, I want to say like 2-3 hours. It probably could go quicker, but like in reality, it normally takes that long just for me to like lay everything out, look up the recipes over and over, decide what I want to do. The first week I did meal preps, I did the exact same thing every single day, and I absolutely hated that. So obviously, you don't have to eat things that you don't like. You don't have to like give up things. You can just find better options, portion sizing, all those different type of things come into play. And so that's why I decided to do something different. So obviously that does add to my time, that I do something different for each day. But like, I include pasta in 2 of these, so that cuts some of the time in half. I just have to do pasta in the quinoa, and then I just throw those in. And you want to have the whole balanced plate thing, the carbs, the protein, the veggies, the fruits, all the different type of stuff. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this one. I know it was kind of different than what I normally put out on my channel, but I was super excited to do this and fulfill all of the requests that people were putting in about including meal preps and meal prep ideas. And thank you guys so much for watching. As always, all of my links will be listed down below. I will try and link all of the recipe people down below also, so you can go check out their channels. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one.